Hey, it's Tim, Pickup Truck Plus SUV Talk, and today I'm driving a new Jeep Grand Wagoneer. This is the new full-size Jeep. It's got 3 rows, it's filled with luxury, and in this video I'm going to tell you my first drive thoughts about it. We'll talk to some technical details, I'll tell you some off-roading and some towing, and then I'll kind of give you my thoughts how this compares to the competition based on just a quick drive. I've driven the Range Rover, I've driven the Escalade, I've driven the Navigator, so I will tell you kind of how this compares to those other vehicles for your quick shopping if you're out there looking right now. Let's go get started on the exterior, and I'll kind of talk to you about what it looks like and kind of some of the key details. So there's a ton of little details on this. So you have, you know, Jeep performance there, LED lights there, cool like styling. This is some of the same finish you find in high-end watches. Just a really cool styling there. And then another thing they did here was they put acrylic glass and the Wagoneer name on there. So really nice look to those. And these tires are Goodyear Touring. Let's see, 285 45 R22s. Big wheels. All right, I did a little video here of exteriors in different colors. You can see silver, you see black. The red is the one I was driving. I really like this red. You can see the overall shape of these, a little bit smaller than a Tahoe, not quite as tall as other vehicles out there. And I just like the front end. The front end looks pretty good. The side windows are a little bit something, an acquired taste. A little interesting there with the chrome around them. And the rear end just has a really big window back there, so it kind of stands out. The Grand Wagoneer is spelled out there in the back, and it's got lovers of that or haters of that. It's kind of interesting. And I just, like I said, I think it's overall styling looks really good, but it's a little bit different of a look as compared to the rest of the market. Okay, now storage space in the back. I could probably fit some golf clubs back here, so enough room for a golf bag or two. Groceries for sure. I have, this closes the tailgate, and these are the buttons to control the seats that go down and up. And I have some power back here too, so that's kind of nice. So yeah, pretty good amount of space. You can set this opening, but it opens up pretty well. And just dink, and goes closed. So you do have the hitch covering, 10,000 pound welded on hitch in there. My only really kind of complaint with this back rear end is they just drop the exhaust straight down instead of like integrating in the bumper, which other brands have done. And I think it looks a little bit better when you do that, when you integrate at the bumper. But again, small Timism. And the Grand Wagoneer, I don't know, you know, this third row and how we get in it. So there's a button there, pops that forward, just like the Grand Cherokee L, that moves forward. Let's hop in. And third row. So I'm not gonna put, I won't put that up, I'll just move over. So move over here, third row. All right, here we go. Nice vents back here. This is what we're talking about, nice vents, AC vents, which is really important today. It's really hot. I got plenty of headroom here. This is a manual slider, so that's something to know. So kind of makes it nice and darker back here, but yeah, plenty of headroom, plenty of leg room. I'm 5'6", 7', 8" with boots on, and yeah, plenty of room back here. Nice and comfortable. You know, you definitely have more room than you do the Grand Cherokee L, for sure. So here is all that interior space. Well, nice stitching on these seats, and I got the screen. This is what's great about the screen here is it's easy for kids to use. Like, I'm not having to bend my arm at all to reach that screen. It's right there, easy for them to use, easy to touch. And like I said, what's great with that is, unlike, say, the Tahoe screens, they're so far away from the kids you can't actually reach them. The kids can actually touch the screen, they can plug in them stuff, they can plug in their HDMI, they can stream cast, or whatever it's called, from their Amazon. You can plug in the HDMI cable from their iPhone, and you actually can use the screen from the kid standpoint, which is, well, it's the point of it, right? And then we have some USBs back here. Grand Wagoneer spelled out, another infotainment screen, which would come on if I had the vehicle on, but it's currently off. But yeah, 2-pane moonroof there. Just really nice, well done details. All the details are really nice back here. And yeah, have the Fire Stick remote hookup. There you go. Oh, and lots of storage. So yeah, this is a great vehicle for kids for sure. My kids would love this thing. All right, here we go. We got the Jeep Grand Wagoneer, 7,000 pounds. They tell me what the trailer weight is. 6.4 liter Hemi, 391 rear gears, and I'm going through the countryside here in New York. Yeah, northeast Manhattan. So this is probably perfect for this truck, SUV, what do they call it? 7,000 pounds. It can max tow 10,000 pounds, but really with only 1,500 pounds of payload, this is probably where we're going to be towing with it. It's a tandem axle horse trailer, as you'll see in the video, and so we're just kind of towing around. I have a bike in front of me here, so I'm just trying to find an opening. This is some tight country to have this Jeep with the trailer. Yeah, towing is fun. So, I mean, this is not something, this vehicle you're going to tow all the time with, but it definitely is capable. I mean, really, it's a Ram truck with a big Hemi engine that can tow quite a bit. So, max towing is 10,000 pounds, like I said, but probably won't do it. And, I'm towing, I'm only doing 15, 16 miles an hour, but I'll get past this guy and get a little more speed. And, well, yeah, I'll be back. Let me get past this guy and get some more speed. Yeah, that's what we want to know. All right, past the guy, kind of going up this some hills here. Feels pretty solid. I mean, I don't expect the, again, I don't expect this Wagoneer to do a whole lot with this load, just because, again, body on frame, 391 rear gears, the setup of it. I can feel the trailer a little bit pushing me. I do have tow haul mode on. I don't have a trailer brake gain controller. Oh, there it is. I do have a trailer brake gain controller, so we'll see what the brakes look like here in a minute. So brakes were at 50%, so giving some help with that trailer. And yeah, kind of rocking and rolling a little bit. All right, so I got trailer brake controller figured out. I missed my turn earlier, making the right turn now. Looks like I'm not doing I won't do much highway speed. This is the course they've set up. I'm not going to talk about fuel economy because I'm not going to do a long enough tow with this, and I will tell you that it's probably going to be really, really poor. And it's going to be 91 octane, so towing with this is just going to be pretty expensive. Just in my guess, looking at 15 miles per gallon, usually in towing situations, you get half of that, especially in a gas engine. So I would say this is somewhere between 7 and 9 miles per gallon would be my best guess. And 91 octane, 26 gallon tank. That means every 3 hours or so of towing, you're dropping a C note to get more gas. That's kind of what it is. But yeah, again, I don't have any qualms on this. We'll wait till we get maybe a longer road trip to do some real fuel economy numbers on this. Oh, and that reminds me, I do want to mention the braking on the towing, and it's braking fine, very solid. I'm not swaying very much at all with the trailer, and going down the hill, and I feel really confident going downhill as well as going uphill. So I want to mention that real fast. Okay, now we're doing some off-roading with the Wagoneer. I want to show you this screen right here. We have pitch and roll, select terrain, suspension, what's happening there. I do have some modes. We'll talk more about those in a minute. I'm 4 low, and the arrow is all the way up. So let's hit the trail over there. Okay, so we're in the Wagoneer. We're doing some off-roading like I showed you the screen. The drive modes will make some changes, because the one, you put it in rock, and it locks the rear differential, because you have the 2-speed transfer case in this variety, because I have 4 low as well. So, big rocks. And I got a spotter. So I'm in auto mode. I don't have the differential locked. And I got through everything. I got the thumbs up. Let's go ahead and just keep it in auto. This should be a pretty capable vehicle. Body on frame, 5.7 liter in this one. Missing the tree. And yep. We're doing the fantastic wheel articulation thing, which I'm sitting like, should be like this, but I'm sitting like this. It is pretty crazy to see this stuff. Good, good, all right. Thumbs up from the Jeep guys. Going forward. Again, still in auto mode. I haven't had any wheel slippage. I don't feel like putting in lock-in differential. Probably don't have to for this kind of course. All right, one more obstacle here. Oh yeah, wow. I could see the mounds, but I was like, wait a minute.
This might weigh a little bit. I want to put you in this big hole.
All right.
This is a ride. You gotta enjoy the ride.
Oh yeah. Big hole.
As you come here, you're gonna be about the pasture front's come about 3.5 to almost 4 feet off the ground.
4 feet.
You don't even notice it, do you?
Uh-uh.
Now it's a nice gentle drop.
Right.
Let it catch.
Okay.
Wonderful.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Around. Enjoy your day, sir.
All right. So you said when you do that articulation, what happens is you get one tire up in the air and usually hangs down, and that was about 4 feet off the ground. So this has enough torque, as you'd imagine, and enough power that it can power forward even with that one tire off the ground, which is fine, which is what you want. Now, what I'd really like to have is a front camera, and I'm sure I do somewhere. Vehicle, picture select terrain. Well, I will see if I have the button somewhere, but yeah, front camera would be good. Nothing there. Vehicle, off-road, launch off-road pages. Yeah, so I can see the off-road pages, but I really would like a camera button to be able to turn on the front camera. Huh, that'd be fantastic. Maybe I'll add that to the notes. I'll talk to the engineer here in a minute. But yeah, it's really capable off-road, as you'd imagine, and they have like 5 skid plates when you do the different package for this, the off-road package. And yeah, still a Jeep, as you'd expect.
There to the apps. Okay, and then there should be
Backup camera.
just go to any of the camera modes.
This is a camera.
Okay, and then hit the X.
Surround view camera.
Okay, so you hit that, and then you get all these different viewpoints.
I see. So yeah. So maybe a button be faster. Okay, now let's talk some driving impressions. So this is the 6.4 liter Hemi V8 engine. It's got tons of horsepower and torque. It's probably, frankly, got more horsepower and torque than this vehicle probably needs, and premium fuel, so it is quite a bit thirsty. So do not buy this if you don't like visiting the gas station. I think this needs a hybrid like tomorrow. I mean, just if you could do a small displacement hybrid powertrain and really get some better fuel economy out, because frankly, it rides amazing. The new four-link suspension in the back, it's not coiled, 4-link independent rear suspension, the way they designed that, this is one of the best riding SUVs in the segment. I think it's great on that. I would fear having to go put premium fuel in this all the time just because of the size of it. 26-gallon tank, that's a C note every time you go to the gas station. So yeah, if you're light on the foot, or frankly if you have the money, you don't care, fine, don't worry about that. But it's just, one of my criticisms is like, man, that's a lot. And it does have a max towing of 10,000 pounds. I'll talk to you about the towing, but it has kind of a small payload. It's only 1,500 pounds of payload. With a 7-seater, that means you and 6 of your friends are maxing out this vehicle's payload. That's not a whole lot at all. So I would say overall, driving impressions, it's quiet. It's smooth. It hits these bumps like nobody's business. It doesn't have a great turning radius, but it does okay. It's a big vehicle. It drives smaller than you think. It doesn't drive as big as other vehicles are. It's got a smaller exterior look than say the Tahoe or the Navigator, but it's got more interior space and better visibility. You know, the way they design these pillars, they're tiny. You can't even tell they're there, which is really impressive for, again, today's engineering with all the airbags and safety technology that's put in these vehicles that are mandated by the government to make those A-pillars be that small. And so tons of visibility, easy to see around. I don't have any concerns there whatsoever. So a couple of my gripes with this is that they talk a lot about storage, and one of the issues I find with this and find with other vehicles is the center console. You can either get a cooled box, you can get a safe box, or you can have the regular boxed room. But even that much boxed room doesn't give you much spot for a woman's handbag or a diaper bag. What I find interesting is that the turn dial transmission shifter, and I think because of the transmission sitting up so much higher on this frame that they designed, that they weren't able to put storage underneath the transmission like you see in other SUVs, other minivans, where they have storage underneath the shifter. They weren't able to do that in this case, and I think it's a huge miss, because if I have the cooled box that's filled with water, purses and handbags and like my backpack has been flying across the seat and down by the passenger side, and it'd be great to have some sort of placement for that inside the vehicle, and just sometimes it's a miss. Where do you put that stuff? And I'm always curious about that. Like, I was staying home with dad with my kids. Diaper bags, they're a real thing. So let's also talk about only 2 engine choices. Again, I think that's a miss, not having more variety in this segment. And then my last kind of little, not a gripe, but kind of something you got to think about is these screens are really nice, really well done, and they integrated with the dash, and so it's really nice screens. But there's a lot of screens. There's a lot of cleaning involved in those screens. There's a lot to go on with making sure those screens are nice and clean. And the screen they use for the heated and cooled seats and for the massaging seats and that kind of stuff, it hides a it's a rapid, not rapid charge, but wireless charger for your cell phone. Just drop it in there. There's some cords you can actually plug in your phone as well. It hides that pretty well, but I just find it like, it's just a little bit too much. It's one more screen, it's one more thing that can break, it's one more thing to clean, and it looks cool, but I just don't see the real world benefit of having that there. I think it'd be fine if it was the screen was implemented in a bigger screen above, and because you just don't need that screen. I could hit controls and comfort and get many of the same functionality from that screen up top. So I think that maybe was a little design overkill, and having the opportunity to do it, they could have cut some there as well. And you know, that's kind of my thoughts there. Now, how it compares to competition and that kind of stuff, you know, this is really, we're talking about stuff here, this is a big brick, right? And so it is a big 6,000 pound vehicle. So I'm trying to turn the mic up. Oh, I gotta go up. Sorry, all right, now let's talk how this compares to competition, and I'll just kind of go through this, you know, real fast and to a point. I don't want to, you know, go too detailed, but just kind of overall thoughts. Is first we have to understand that this is a big vehicle. It's 6,000 pounds curb weight in the Grand Wagoneer with standard 4-wheel drive, and so 6,000 pound vehicle that is just heavy. And so you'd think it would drive heavier than it does. It doesn't. I think the Navigator drives a little bit more heavy than this one does, and I think the Navigator, I was a little concerned about some of the build quality there, but I find this one, the Grand Wagoneer, to be more comfortable than the Navigator, and to be more stylish Navigator. I think they've done a great job on this. I just passed yet another Range Rover. Apparently I'm in the Range Rover country of New York. I've seen a ton of Range Rovers. I think Range Rover's got more technical features to it, off-roading technical features to it, and I think the style of Range Rover is pretty close to what the style of this is as far as coolness factor to it. But I don't think many people are going to do as much off-roading as a Range Rover can do. I think the Range Rover is more of a status symbol, and I think this is probably a better usage of technology and better ride quality in this vehicle. Now, I compare a Range Rover to a Jeep product is tough on the one account that they both don't have a great history of reliability, and hopefully this feels a little bit better. It feels a little more like it's better built than prior generations of Jeeps. So hopefully the Jeep gets beyond that rotation problem that's been plaguing them for years. So then let's talk about this versus like a GMC Yukon or a Chevy Tahoe or Chevy Suburban. I gotta say that the seat comfort in this is much better than those vehicles. But not Suburban, I would say Escalade. I'm sorry, let me go back to Cadillac Escalade. I would say the seat comfort in this vehicle is a lot better than Escalade. I don't know why GM seats are terrible, but they are. And this seat feels a lot better. I like the screens a little bit better. I know that the Escalade's got that new OLED screen, which looks really sharp, but it's too much. I like the vent here instead of that big screen. Like there's a vent next to Jeep's screen, where Escalade has that full length of OLED interior screen. And I just think this looks better. I just like this setup better. They spent a lot of money on LED, not great. I also think the interior space in this is much better than the Escalade. I don't know why the Escalade feels really tight to me. And my neighbor, who's like 6'2", he can't even like sit in the back seats of the Escalade without having some problems with his head and his feet placement. And this, you can sit in the whole back, he can sit all in the back seats, third row, and no problem. So my final thoughts, at the end of the day, I think Jeep has done a really good job on a first take of this vehicle. I have some Timisms about it. I have some things that I think maybe they didn't need to do as to that point. I think that they have opportunity to improve in the areas that I point out in this video. Also that screen, I think they have opportunity to improve payload, the opportunity to improve fuel economy. I think that's kind of a big miss these days. Everybody's doing EVs or hybrid talk. They not have better fuel economy. I think that's a miss. And I feel like those little small misses add up to, you know, maybe some concerns for you. I think it's cool. It's something new. It's something exciting. Something they haven't done in the past. Is had a vehicle like this size, and so I'm excited for them to have it. I think they can do really well with this. I think this is like printing money for them, in my opinion. I think this is people who are buying in this segment. This is something that's gonna stand out. It's gonna be different. It's gonna be unique. It's not gonna be like everybody else, and it's gonna be quite comfortable for a family for a long road trip, or you know, run town. Whatever, and it's so easy to drive. And I think the seats with the seat adjustments, I mean, you can fit any sort of person behind this wheel, any size, any shape, and you're able to sit comfortably and have a good view in front of you. And yeah, I think overall I did a good job. I have some Timisms about some details, so there you go. Hey, for more, check out this video over here, website down below. As always, thanks for watching. I'll see you down the road.